Everybody, how was your guys' weekend? Is your weekend coming to an end, or do you have some more time in your weekend? Hopefully you guys got something done that you wanted to do as well as needed to be done. What's up, guys? "20 seconds in, I'm showing 0 people online here. 0 thumbs up, 0 people. 30 seconds, 2 thumbs up, 0 people online. Makes no sense. Their fucking algorithms are so fucked up. Big O, what's up? Mark Southard, what's going on? How are you? 7 and 9, what's up? 7 and 10. How do we have less people online than thumbs up? Now it's 12 and 10. Hit those thumbs up, guys. Urban Woodsman, what's up? Web Dad, how are you? How are you? It's been mostly paperwork today. I don't think either one of us have left the property today. We were out almost all day yesterday. Barefooted Gardener, what's up? What is that? So what's the Barefooted Gardener? Do you have a YouTube channel? Barefooted Gardener. Have you guys seen all the scantily clad ladies, all the ex-Playboy bunnies and porn stars that have gardening channels? They have fucking millions of followers online. And they've all got shit linked where you can buy them free shit, right? It's a trip. The amount of comments, like some of these chicks growing cucumbers have 40 to 120, 400,000 views on these videos. It's crazy. Barefoot Gardener. You do have a YouTube channel. We will check that out. Why don't you put a link up in here if you can, or something to drop people into your YouTube channel. Kilo Bravo 6, what's up? Jeff Hurdle, what's going on? Ron Most, how are you? Tyler and Mallory, everything is good. Byron Roberts, what's up? Bill Ravelli, what's going on? LW of Jax, what's up, man? Tattooed Fucker, what's going on? What's up, what's up? So how was your weekend? Is it over with? Like, is this it for you? Jim Griffin, what's up? Backwoods Packer, what's up, man? How are you? Or Woolman? Did you just misgender me? Jason, what's up? Saw something cool. Use a gas pump nozzle on a garden hose to fill animal water troughs. Cuts off automatically. Huh. Okay. Barefooted Gardener, is that the name of your YouTube? The little micrococks are online now. If somehow you haven't gotten our email or you don't open our emails, that's online. I guess I should count and see how much change is in here. I guess we could do that online here. This is a good place. Let's see. I don't know myself what's in here. Can I even count change anymore? These quarters seem smaller than I remember them being. Like, I have not looked at or used change in probably 10 years. Anytime I get change, I put it in my pocket when they hand it to me. If I don't leave it there, you know, if they have a change thing, I usually leave it there. But I'll put it in my pocket, and then when I get to the truck, it just goes like in a little hole in the truck, you know, like well, I guess it's a change holder in the truck. And then I take it from there and just put it in, you know, a cup, and it just sits there. I just kept taking handfuls to fill this up. I probably could have put more in there than what's here, and if I'd have put quarters, it would have probably had higher value. But I haven't like counted change. It's a trip when you go someplace and they have to give you change. Kids have no clue how to deal with change. They even though the machine tells them how to what your exact change is, they don't know how to count out change. There are many times locally here especially where somebody has handed me change back and they've given me much too much money, like $20 too much. I'll give them a $100 bill getting gasoline, and they hand me back a huge amount of money, more than they should have given me. I always give it back to them, but they would have no clue. Like, my suspicion is that they're not balancing the tills out anymore like they used to. I don't know. But, and these aren't just kids. Like, a lot of these people, they look to be like 30, 35 years old probably, and they have no idea how to make change. Maybe. And look, even me, I just went and got a calculator. So I have $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 exactly in quarters. And then in dimes here, do I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, $1.70. Ooh, I just fucked that up. So I had $6 in quarters, $1.70 in dimes, and then nickels, so I got 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 95 point. Ooh, I fucked that up again. Holy shit. So I have 95 cents here, 0.95 plus $6 plus, what did I say? 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 plus $1.70 plus, yeah, I found another quarter, plus 0.25 plus 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, plus 0.36 cents. So $9.26 is the answer as to how much. $9.26 is the answer as to how much is in there. We're going to give away the free caulk. We'll throw some extra something in there since we've already released them. But you'll get the free caulk, a free mini caulk. We'll put something extra in there for you. Whoever got that exact amount, I called it 951. I don't know. Anybody else? You can definitely look at them. Oh, you posted 951. So I got 926. We'll see who was closest. Good thing about Instagram is you can't edit your post. You could delete it and then repost it. But we just did this tonight at, what time is it? Here I go looking at the phone again. Somebody said $10,000 watch on your wrist and you still look at your phone. 926 was the dollar amount at, we'll call it 9 o'clock. So I'll go through those, see who the winner is. We'll send you something extra. I'll throw in a, I'll put a silver eagle in here for you. So what's that worth? 28 bucks in addition to the $25. Actually, with spot and everything, you're probably going to pay $31, $32 for an eagle. So I'm going to give you the free mini caulk sample, and I'm going to throw in a American Silver Eagle in there with it. So there you saw it. We did it live here. I was close, called 951. I guess way too low. My guess was close. Guys, I had no idea. I just literally grabbed handfuls of change and put it in there. Guess I'll just buy one. Well, 200 other people have so far, and it's only been up there for a couple hours, so you'll be in good company. So they've never finished school, or the school system sucks. The school system sucks. They're not, it's not important for them. That's not what the school is teaching your kids, right? They don't teach your kids life skills. How come how come fifth graders aren't learning how to use Excel? Because if they taught kids how to use Excel, they could program in the parameters, very minor parameters, and know that going to college is not going to pay for them until they're 35 years old. They're going to work in a field that might not even exist by the time they get out of college to make some amount of money that's not going to pay the tuition and all their student loans. That's why they don't teach kids how come they don't teach kids how to balance a checkbook? How come they don't teach kids about how to use credit? Because it's not in their best interest. They need people dumb so that they can remain elite. That's how they steal money from people, because people are dumb and careless with their finances. And if you taught a kid that from the beginning, if you took a kid and when he came into school, you gave him credits, right? Let's just work on imaginary money, okay? Let's give the kid $5 every day he shows up to school, and then he gets taken away $3 of those dollars for showing up even 1 minute late. And then at the end of the quarter, you could give the kid something, right? You could do whatever. If kids will work very well through very minor rewards, but they're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that as a teacher because they need your kids to be stupid. So it's not that the school system, it's not that they dropped out of school. You see, I dropped out of school in the 10th grade. I don't have a single friend who makes millions of dollars a year who even finished school. I don't know a single dude that I'm actually buddies with, right? Like we hang out. I don't know a single one of those dudes that makes millions of dollars that I call a friend. I might have some acquaintances, and I probably have some customers, doctors, lawyers, shit like that, working within their field, right? I know a lot of dudes that have business majors that don't do any business shit. They make more money selling cars. I got family members like that. So do you need the school system? Absolutely, you do not need the fucking school system. You need to be educated and learned, but you don't need to go to the fucking public school system. And it's not public, it's government school. If you doubt that, go to the school during business hours and try to swing on the swing set. How come as a fucking parent, you can't go and just blankly attend class? Why can't you surprisingly just audit class? God forbid you have that. Why aren't there fucking cameras that you can log into and see what's happening in your kid's schoolroom? Because they wouldn't be fucking teachers very long. You would fucking drag them out in the street and you would fucking hang them, tar and feather them, and drive over them with your cars. That's why. Someone with a master, I advise younger people to either decide on a profession or career that requires school before deciding to go to college. Absolutely. Absolutely. I got friends that are the trash man. Rural. The trash man drives beat-ass old fucking trucks with big fucking cages and picks the trash up. The motherfucker's making more money doing trash than he was any of his other fucking jobs. He's making more money doing trash than a lot of people that I fucking know that have degrees. The trash man. Plus, the trash man can pick up the fucking bullshit you threw away or the new homeowner moved in, right? And he can take all that stuff and put it on eBay or put it on Locals or put it on fucking Craigslist or Marketplace and have a fucking whole second stream of income off stuff that people are too lazy to sell themselves or throw away or, do whatever with. Adam Kennedy, what's up, buddy? What happened to trade schools? What about home economics? Only rural. Only rural. You know why they push the Future Farmers of America, FFA, the ag programs? Do you know why they push the Boy Scouts? Because it teaches people how to follow rules, and it has some hands-on skill, right? Because that is where the Department of Interior will fucking bold-faced tell you that most recruits for the military come to small towns because they're smaller-minded. They score lower on test scores. They are dumber, and they're trapped in a small town, and their escape is to join the military. That's what your own government says about these people. I guess I am these people now. I live rural. My kids went through the school systems out here. But that's what it's designed for. I went to electrician school before getting a bachelor's, master's in electrical engineering. All kids go to trade school, in my opinion. Yeah, they should. They should be readily available and required in high school. Got a teacher fired when I asked my son why he was going to funeral of a murderer when I took him out of Chris Kyle's memorial. Crazy. Crazy. Most daycares have cameras so parents can monitor the kids. Yeah, so why isn't, because most daycares are privately owned businesses, right? They're not the government. Imagine if you had cameras in the hallways of government. Imagine that. they're working for you, right? You pay their salary, they represent you. Shouldn't you have access to what they're doing and the conversations they have amongst themselves? They probably wouldn't want to be in office very long if that was the case. There's a lot of farmers, ranchers out there that finish school and make way more money, that never finish will make more money than college grads. There absolutely is, man. And they definitely live a fucking better life. Philip Strother, what's up, buddy? How are you? Our event is coming up next weekend. Am I right? Is it next weekend? 19th and 20th? Is that next weekend? I think it's next weekend. People will start showing up here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We still have people asking if trailers are allowed on the property. The answer is no. I guess the answer also depends on who you are. If you're a vendor here, you might get a little different answer. We don't have enough room to park people. We are parking people up the road. We're parking people across the road. We're parking people down the road. But we'll get everybody here. We'll make that work. But with campers and trailers, that won't work. If your camper is on your truck, then that counts, and you can camp in your truck. You can rooftop camp, whatever you want to do. There are tons and tons of places around here where you can park a trailer. So if you're bringing a trailer, you know, I guess we'll evaluate it as it gets here, but the answer is really no. But that is coming up. If you don't have tickets, you can still get tickets at the gate. You don't think you're going to just slide in here. There's a dude at the gate. You're gonna pay more later than you are now. So get your tickets now, still while you can. Learned my fractions by reading wrenches as a kid, hanging out in the garage. Yeah. Do you know how many kids don't know what a fucking crescent wrench is? I think every kid knows what a hammer is, just from, you know, if nothing else, violent movies and shit. But they don't know what a fucking crescent wrench is, you know, or adjustable wrench. They don't know what a ratchet is. They just don't know. And that's not on them. Nobody took the time to fucking teach it to them. I made more money in real estate. My degree served no purpose. Went to become a journeyman carpenter. That served its weight in gold in real estate. I'll bet it does, man. I'll bet it does. Worked my guts out to live life of luxury. No sleep yet, but I'm in my mid-40s. Billy, man. Just sustain that. Sustain that. That will keep you alive. How many people retire and they just fucking die? They don't have a purpose. Fractions by looking in the kitchen and great-grandma. There are no streaming cameras in schools for the same reason why the FDA is not releasing vaccine studies until 76. Oh, I'm with you. How about the DOD just got busted for deleting all kinds of data? All of their fucking heart issues were up like 700%. Fucking miscarriages were up 400%. All their data matched all the data everybody else was saying, and it was publicly viewable on a website. They've gone in and deleted all that information. Professional trades are more viable than the bachelor's degree. It's because you don't need the system. You don't need the system. When you don't rely on them, they don't matter to you, and they need to matter because government no longer matters. And they are fucking, you can see with the crazy shit that's happening, they are in the death throes and they're scared to death of it. Just like your government schools. They're fucking dead fucking worried because they're no longer mattering. People saw what was happening. I looked into having a friend critter sit so I could go. Right on. I think having 1 year where you do practical subject and internship like electrician, carpenter, etc. I think that's great. So why the fuck aren't we doing that when these kids are fucking 15, 16, and 17? When I was 13 and a half years old, I had a job working at McDonald's. I had to transfer a bus, ride a second bus, 90 minutes to get to Convoy in Kearney Mesa from my home in Tierra Santa. As a 13 and a half year old kid, I had a legal job with a social security number, had to get a social security card to get the job, to have the job. I believe that's when I got my social security card. At 13 and a half, had a legal job working at McDonald's. When I was 14, I was doing construction work. They would drop me off at a job site with a sledgehammer, a pickaxe, and a wheelbarrow, and I would bust up concrete slabs. They would paint on the ground what they wanted busted up. I would break the concrete up. I would pick it out with a pickaxe, put it in the wheelbarrow, and make piles of concrete. They would pull up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then I would pick all the concrete up again, put it in the back of a Toyota truck. And then we would go and dump it at the dump or illegally dump it someplace, wherever. That was my job for fucking a year and a half, 2 years. Manual labor. Any kid could do that now. Parents don't encourage it, and when the kid wants to do it, parents usually stop it. I think a business degree with a minor in accounting is useful for understanding the ins and outs of business, and that's coming from a union laborer. No problem. We need those people. I took business accounting. I took managerial accounting. I took business 101, business 102. I did it after I had made millions of dollars. I did it while I was in prison, actually. My school, all my certificates say Cal Poly on them. So, I don't know. I see a lot of people who get stuck doing all this school shit, and by the time they get any hands-on practical application, they're 30 years old. They've already fucking wasted half of their fucking best parts of their life. Between 20 and 30? For what? For what? Are you making any more money? I know a lot of motherfuckers that make fucking literally millions of dollars every month and have no fucking formal education beyond high school. And most of the dudes I know left high school in 8th, 9th, or 10th grade. You know a dude that was doing all my videos, Brandel? Quit going to school and moved out of his house, left his house at 14 and a half years old, lived on his own, 14 and a half. Makes pretty badass videos, doesn't he? Writes his own, fucking names his price. Pulling weeds all around my neighborhood at 11. Weeded all the old ladies' gardens every spring. That's funny. Went to get my gun at Rural King, spent another $250, got stuff needed. Seen tornado damage. John said most businesses that will never reopen. Where was that, man? Where was that at? Which Rural King did you go to? Somebody said something tonight. I don't know what spurred me to say it. And I said, oh, on the website it says, no, dumbass. It doesn't come with all these knives and pins and stuff, right? On the Right in the Rain pad. That's on several of our products. Because dudes are like, does it come with all the stuff? And I know that out of 100 of those dudes, 99 guys are joking, but there's one dipshit in there that truly fucking believes that. True, or he just wants to point it out to be fucking, he thinks he's fucking being difficult for you, or because he points it out, other people aren't going to buy it or whatever. That's usually what it is. But the fact that you have to put fucking, don't, like it literally says on toasters. Go look at a toaster oven. It shows don't use it in the bathtub. It shows not to use your hairdryer in the bathtub. The fact that you have to put that on there shows you where society is today. Like, we should let dumb people die. I don't know why we fucking keep them around. Well, I can tell you why we keep them around. Because dumb people typically fucking rely on the system. And they need those dumb people in the system for the system to exist. The system has to be important to somebody. It's usually dumb people. Order Right in the Rain notepad, but do I need a pen as well? Yeah, you're going to probably need a pen. You're going to probably need a pen. I know that's a joke. Potential Darwin Award winners. Nate, how are you, man? Many years ago, you recommended a book, Enemies, Foreign and Domestic, and others you suggest. So for people who don't know, Enemies, Foreign and Domestic was written by Matthew Bracken, ex-SEAL team guy. He was an intel officer, wrote Enemies, Foreign and Domestic. Went on to write Foreign Enemies was part 2, and Domestic Enemies was part 3. Domestic Enemies took place here in Middle Tennessee, about 50 miles in and around this area here. Good book. It's on audiobooks. You should check it out. Unintended Consequences. Unfortunately, it's not on audiobooks. It's an amazing fucking story. It's history. It's history told in a way that is very fucking easy to digest and very entertaining. There's another book called Lights Out. A friend of mine, David Crawford, wrote that book. I'm quoted on the back, as well as James is quoted on the back of the book. Unfortunately, that book is also not on audiobooks. 1 second after, and then the day after, And then there's like 3 or 4 parts to that series. That's really good. Zombie Rules is a very good series. And yes, there's zombies in it, but there's a lot of applicable stuff in there. And it's very entertaining, Zombie Rules. And there's like 8 parts to it. It'll carry you for like, I listen to audiobooks. When I start listening to an audiobook, I spend a lot of time, like 6, 7, 8 hours a day listening to an audiobook, and it'll carry you for a couple weeks probably. Going Home series, pretty good. I'm on book 6, 7, 8 now. I don't know which one it is. Good series of books. Any of those, start there. We live in a litigious society. Someone electrocutes themselves, and they or their family sue. Nobody in court system says you were being a dumbass. Now they want to extend that to guns. Paul, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Because, why is that? Why is that? Even though it's on there, they still sue. Even though it says don't swallow, don't swallow the end of this fucking raw extension cord and turn it on, right? They still sue. It's because they make money from it. The judges don't need to exist in the level they do. The attorneys don't need to exist in the level they do. It's all for money. They have to word it and write it so crazy that the layman cannot understand it and have to pay somebody to interpret it for them. It's all about fucking perpetuating money and separating you from your money. Dichotomy of Leadership, that's another great one. Not in the same genre, though, of the survival fiction. That's why I didn't bring that up. Anything Andy Frisella put out is great. Anything, any of them dudes, man. Do not put your dog in the microwave. Yeah, 10 pounds of flour makes a mean biscuit. Don't dry your cat in a microwave. Package contains small parts. Keep away from children. Choking hazard. They used to sell bags. They used to sell fucking crazy toys all the time, and kids would get fucked up every now and then. I guess you should watch your kids better. If you let your kids that live on a farm, there's all kinds of shit that can kill them. Yet somehow they fucking make it through. Lawn darts, yeah, lawn darts, man. We see those for sale every now and then. Atlas Shrugged is 64 hours. Atlas Shrugged, also for guys that don't know, Atlas Shrugged has been made into a video movie series. There's 3 episodes, and you can watch it on YouTube and just listen to it. Alas Babylon, that's another one. Old car manuals gave you specs to set your engine valve. Yep. It was Dresden. Got hit hard, John. Tornado, lots of homes, and lots of small businesses. Yeah, and they're never coming back. So are you aware of what's happening? Nobody's talking about it. Are you aware of what's happening up in Kentucky? FEMA came through and offered these people $4,000, $5,000 for their property and condemned their properties. FEMA's not allowed to condemn the property. Local government, fire inspectors, those guys have to condemn the properties. But FEMA is marking the X and condemning these properties just like they did in Katrina. There's a bunch of eminent domain shit going on all through Kentucky right now. $85 billion went into Kentucky. Immediately $50 billion goes back to DC for them to divide it up, keep silent, and to bribe the guys that didn't want to go along with the relief of that amount. $10 billion will be stolen from local and state government in Kentucky. You'll see a big stadium or some bullshit go up, and then they'll try to bribe some team to come in. The actual people that needed the relief money, they're getting offered $4,000. But none of you have heard that, have you? You don't know that. You're not aware of it because nobody ever talks about it. It's just like everybody, you get a lower income person, right? Or you get somebody that's just kind of living a clean life, right? They're doing what they need to do. They're playing by all the fucking rules. And they've got fucking insurance on their car, but their car's old, so the insurance company won't offer them full coverage, and they couldn't afford it anyways. So when they get in a wreck that's not their fault, they don't get their car replaced. When some asshole pulls out not looking and T-bones some girl who has the right-of-way and fucking destroys her car, and now she can't go to work, and she's a single mother and the main sole supporter of the family, the car gets destroyed. The other dude's insurance company doesn't buy her a new car. It only fucking gives her the value of the car. In a lot of cases, that's not enough to replace the vehicle. A lot of insurance companies, more and more, will not give you full coverage on vehicles once they're out of a certain date. Bear had mentioned the $4,000 thing a few times. I had not heard him say that. Fucking absolutely insane, isn't it? Stealing these people's properties for $4,000, their entire livelihood. Driving a big John Deere tractor in second grade, driving a truck at my own age 12, stick shift, knew how to butcher and process hogs, chickens, rabbits. Yeah, it's nuts, man. Fucking what has happened? Ava's Crucible is a good book. I've not heard of that. Witherspoon, what's it about? Insurance is a joke, especially now the vehicle prices. Yeah, insurance is gambling. Insurance is gambling. That's what that is. You have to have it, but it doesn't fucking make the other person whole. I need a recovery bag for a taco. I don't even know what that is. You mean you need a recovery bag for a Toyota Tacoma? What are you using to recover? You got a winch? You using a come-along? You need straps? You need something to hold your Bubba rope? You need something to hold your ARB snatch straps? What do you need? Large tool bag, buddy. Large tool bag. We have these in all the trucks. This one's out here. A bunch of shit got pulled out of it. But large tool bag more than does it. I carry a second large tool bag in all the vehicles. It has all kinds of tie downs. You guys should all carry tubular nylon also. You can take tubular nylon, tie it together to make a loop, and now you can make soft ties. You make axle ties. You can use it to extend your tie downs. You can do so much with it. What do you think of the end game of the government subsidizing the purchase of property everywhere? I'm not dumb. I just need to see the big picture. Push you guys into city. It's part of it. Look back to Agenda 21. You remember we used to make fun of all those people. Rosa Corey, David Icke, Alex Jones, Agenda 21. That was the big thing, right? We called those guys, that was tinfoil hat, Agenda 21. Every fucking single piece of Agenda 21 has come to pass. Every fucking bit of it. They're now on to Agenda 2030, Agenda 2035, Agenda 40. It's all your community planning. They sent representatives from every local government. They use words like, I don't know, man, there's a fucking ton of terms for it. It's just like it's like Homeland Security, right? It's along the same terms. Every police department sends an officer to Homeland Security training. You know, if you see something, say something. And most of the dudes that went were Obama voters. Those are very fucking liberal persons that fucking volunteered to go do that shit. And that's literally what it is. It's almost like, and there's some good shit that goes with it for sure. There are good folks in law enforcement. Most of the Homeland Security guys, it wasn't about fucking catching Haji. It's about fucking telling on white guys and fucking local people that live locally. It's about their own fucking people. So be aware of that. But it's about fucking seizing the property. Agenda 21 was about pushing everybody out of the farmlands and the central parts of the country, and they want you to live on the East Coast and the West Coast. You will live and work within a half a mile of everything. You won't need a vehicle because you have provided transportation, or you will live in an area. For instance, it's about revitalizing old factories and stuff and turning them into new businesses. So you will live in those fucking reclaimed areas, those gentrified areas. You will eat, you will entertain, and you will fucking work in the same area. So you won't need to leave the area. Why have they made all of the freeways? If you look at all the freeways, all the corridors through Los Angeles, San Diego, you see it in Las Vegas a lot. You see it in all these big, huge cities. Remember those sound abatement walls? Remember when you used to be able to see the edges of people's backyards along the highway? And then the walls they became taller, right? They became 8 feet tall. Now they're 14, 16, 20 feet tall. And then when you look at it from an aerial view, all those neighborhoods are surrounded by those walls. They could actually lock down those exits and flood that whole fucking interstate. I'm not saying they're going to flood the interstate, but they could run a riverway through the interstate. Those walls are so fucking tall. Why is that? Why do they have it made like that? Look into all that shit. That's Agenda 21. And it's about pushing people. It's about taking the property. Why do they want to make the inheritance tax so high? Because you have farms that have had farms in the family for 100, 200 years, right? Let's say a 1,000-acre farm. The kids inherit the property from dad or grandpa, and they reassess, they evaluate the value of the property at current market value, and then they tax you on that rate. They don't have the money to pay it, so they have to sell off 400 acres of the farm in order to keep 600. It's perpetual. It's about taking away wealth from the middle class. This is in the middle of Podunk, Alabama. They have bought 25 houses in the area, and they are now rentals. It's exactly what's happening. I used to manage Section 8 housing. Some of the places aren't huge, $75 a month for rent. They still don't pay it. They have several kids and sell drugs. Of course they do. That's by design. Where's the father? That's on purpose. When a woman gets on government assistance, the first thing they do is say the man can't be present. And they want her to identify the man so that they can assess and start taking child support. The government still pays her, doesn't let the father around. They want the father in the system. They don't want to know who the dad is to make him pay. They want him to pay so that he defaults so they can put him on probation. Once they put him on probation, they can violate him and put him in the system, and now they have another slave worker for 43 cents a day. And a lot of people said these things that I say now. Most of them weren't white dudes that were saying it. It's the plight of the black man, right? Martin Luther King used to say this shit. Malcolm X used to say this shit. But it's all fucking true. And it doesn't just apply to black folks. They were just saying it because it affected their people. Fathers have been kicked out of the home. Absolutely they have. Your own government put radioactive particles into fucking high-rise projects. When they got caught for it, they demolished the buildings and fucking took them down in a period of like 3 months when they got busted out on it. Look it up. They gave radioactive milk to school kids. Look it up. Look up the UC Davis pressure experiments. Your government. 2006, the United States Navy flew A-6 intruders, you know, the side-by-sides, you know, they flew A-6 intruders over San Francisco area and released live ammonia spores to track infection, to see how the wind flow and how viral this thing they were dropping down was. Look it up. Twin Towers cleanup. There's all kinds of fucking insane shit around the Twin Towers. Things were better before the welfare state. It was by design, though. They wanted that. The government created it. They knew what they were doing when they made it. Welfare used to be church and family. Welfare used to be by the church. It was by private organizations. It wasn't government. When the government got involved in it, they can steal the money. They create money for the projects. They take over half the money for themselves. Every time they do some crazy shit. Do you know Russia right now and the Ukraine are both saying that there's nothing going on over there? The president of Ukraine came out and said that they are not worried about Russia invading them. The president said it on fucking television. Bet you didn't know that. The circus was created to distract, not entertain. Yes, Building 7. Wasn't it Building 7 where the owner of Building 7 said we dropped it? Didn't he say that? He said we went in and wired it and we pulled it. Wasn't that what he said? That was on national television. There's still a lot of fucking recordings of him saying that. That's kind of weird. He would say they fucking detonated it themselves to make it fall. Yeah, look at chemtrails. But, there's no chemtrails. Come on. Come on, Beth. Chemtrails. How come no pilots have come forward and said that they have planes flying chemtrails? How come when you get on an airliner, you don't see the tanks? because the airliners flying people don't have the chemicals on them. How about just 6 months ago, one of those chemtrail planes released its payload on the tarmac and they had to close down the whole fucking entire airport for over 24 hours and cancel all flights. Bet you didn't, did you hear that? Did anybody tell you? Look it up. They're saying that there are graphene nanoparticles inside of everybody now. It's from the chem spraying. It's from the chemtrails. Have you seen any of the stuff when they apply electricity? They just like shoot electricity. They direct electricity at nanoparticles and they get the nanoparticles to do all kinds of crazy shit. Have you seen that? Look it up. Part of the cycle where bad times are creating strong men. Let's hope it's not too late. So those are the conversations we're going to have here. Not all these conversations that I've had tonight, but we can. If you come to the event and you want to talk about that, we'll talk about it. There'll be a lot of people here that have a lot more knowledge and research than I have. You want to talk about how you're going to prosper in the hard times to come? That's what we'll be talking about. Underground marketing, underground networking, doing things between you and another person and cutting out the middleman. How to be more self-sufficient, how to be stronger, how not to be fearful. No, I'm not going to do that. No, thank you. I'm not, no, you can't come in here. No, I will not be participating. No. They don't know what to do when you tell them no. Weapons. Okay, Jody, what's up, buddy? I have your PA system right here. Way too far, unfortunately. Rusty, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. People come here from Japan, Germany, Canada, Norway, Finland, Sweden. Did I say Japan? That's a pretty far one. They come here for these. They come here every time we have a party, man. Yeah, chemtrails, the code word for chemtrails is geoengineering. Can you give us a quick rundown on the underground marketing? We will be talking about it at the events. And that's Nicole's specialty. You should follow Living Free in Tennessee. She will put forth a presentation and you guys will ask questions. It's just how to do things between you and another person. How to find customers through reference. How to get paid in things other than US currency or without a trace of it, I suppose. There's a trace of everything. Or maybe there's not. All unions are ran by the military. Chuck Peoples, who will be here Thursday. Look forward to seeing you, man. Where do you get the news from? I always seem out of the loop. Casey, man. If you're not, so you're out of loop. Do you want to see, and what do you need to see, right? Just because you know these things, what are you going to do with them now? Chase more of it down and find out more about it to the point where you don't spend your time making yourself and your family better and more profitable? There's a fine line between that. I would start, Bear Independent puts out a brief. And it was valuable enough that I went out of my way to become friends with Bear and actually go and meet him. And he puts out a morning brief a couple times a week talking about current events. If you want to know what's really going around kind of from a military perspective and not the bullshit you're hearing from the news, there's a guy called S2 Underground. Tim Pool does a live every night at 7. And then the next day they break it up into little snippets that are 15, 20 minutes long about the certain topics in there. The information's good. Shapiro has a pretty good take on things. But I don't have time to listen to that shit. And typically Shapiro and Tim Pool are talking about things that already happened a week ago by the time they get around to it. There are some guys that just kind of read the news in the morning. Some of them just literally read the news. And some of them kind of give their perspective or spin on it, right? Southern Prepper 1, he's pretty good. He reads the news. He's got valuable information. It's a prepping homestead channel, kind of is what it used to be. But he started a lot of these guys And I'll tell you why they're doing it. They're doing it for views, right? Because it's very easy to watch a 3-minute video or a 5-minute video. I'm stupid. I should be doing the same bullshit. And it's not bullshit. It's viable. But a lot of these guys just watch each other's videos and then remake the video with their own words. But it has gained their viewership, you know, threefold in a period of just a few months. Like, I never would have watched any of Bear's stuff or listened to a lot of his stuff had it not been for the morning briefing. And then you can take that and kind of look out and go research the pieces that are important to you. But you need to remember the one word. The one most important word in any of it is actionable. Actionable intelligence. Actionable intelligence. What can you do with it? Can you act upon it? Can you affect it? Is it going to directly affect you? If so, how soon? Does it affect the temperature of the water in your pool? War. I like to say war, within arm's reach. Put your arms out. Your middle finger is your longest, I hope, unless you're some kind of mongoloid. Middle finger, and turn in a circle, right? What is your wingspan? 6 feet? Is it within 6 feet? Can you see it, smell it, or touch it? And then let's go eyesight, right? Is it in this room? Is it going to affect this room? Is it within a couple miles of me? Is it even in my state? Will it ever be in my state? If it is, will I even know it? Actionable. What can you do about it, and do you need to do anything about it at all? Suspicious observers is another good one, yes. Salty Crackers is blowing up. Is that one of the channels? I seem to think I've heard of that guy or seen his stuff. I cannot stand news. Because it's not news. It's not, they get issued a script. It's news reading. And do you think the Amish give a fuck about the Ukraine about to be invaded, or Singapore by, do you think the Amish care at all? Josh sent me a channel this morning. I'd never seen it. It's very well produced. He was talking about, he's got a friend that was in Singapore that was sending him live video of the main ports in Singapore and how there's hundreds of ships out there with no containers and they're just anchored. There's no containers coming in or out of Singapore. Just fucking sitting there. I can't remember the name of this dude's channel, but it was good. It's worth looking at. Dobu 7, not familiar with. How did we go from Boston Tea Party dumping their shit in the ocean to rain dancing outside singing like Brandon songs? Yeah, I don't know, man. Monkey Works is good. Monkey Works is good. Tracks a lot of the military aircraft and ships. My question is, why would they let that be available to civilian eyes? I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that it is. Why would they let us know that? Marfugal News. Marfugal is good. I think there's some good shit in there. People call, he reports it. Some of it's right, some of it's wrong. The Survival Podcast, Jack Spirko. He's going to talk about things a week after the fact. But I've listened to Jack. I personally know Jack. I've known Jack for years. I've followed Jack since the very beginning. Helped grow his audience, gave away, tens of thousands of dollars a year to drive traffic in contests for new viewers and stuff. Really believed in what he was doing. He's not ever wrong. Like 99% of the shit he says will always be right. Charlie Wood, what's up? I Allegedly is a good channel. Have you ever heard of Alex Jones? But okay, so that's what I talked about that a while ago, Alex Jones, right? We used to call all those guys tinfoil hat, conspiracy theorists, right? It wasn't cool to like Alex Jones, so when you'd bring him up, people would automatically be like, yeah, he's wacko, right? Have you not realized that everything he said came to be true? 99% of it came to pass and actually happened. David Icke as well, man. Why, when they had David Icke on channels, they fucking just took all the entire YouTube channels down when somebody would have David Icke on? S2 Underground has been saying there is a lot of U.S. intelligence disinformation floating around. So Marfugal News, somebody called in and said, right before the military deploys, all of the support ships and the fuel ships and everything goes out, right? They take all these things out. And for the last 6 weeks, they've been just loading all these ships up with heavy armor, heavy equipment and shit. Well, there's a website that you can view called usshipyard.com or something. That's not it. It's something like that, right? And what it is it's outside cameras that happen to catch military shipyards. So there might be a petroleum plant next door or whatever. And they're accessible from the internet. And you can log on and see tanks and fighting vehicles pouring onto these ships and these ships moving out of dock. A new ship pulls in, they load that motherfucker up. We are moving armor and rocket launchers and big missile launchers all over the United States right now. But John, they do that all the time. Okay, maybe. Where are they going? Really curious your opinion, the vehicle PCC or SBS? On your opinion for vehicle PCC or S. I don't even know what that means, Rusty. And I'm sure you're going to say it, and I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, duh. But I don't know what, I don't know what you mean. Max Igar? Ukraine is nothing more than a distraction. I agree with that. Do you know that Ukraine, the majority of Ukraine voted to be part of Russia? Did you know that? Most of Ukrainians wanted to be absorbed back by Russia. Do you know that the Obama administration overthrew the dude that was elected in and put their dude in? Did you know that? Of course you don't know that. Pistol caliber carbine, short barrel shotty. For your vehicle? Why not have both? Police do. Do you have a pistol in your waistband? If you don't have that, why are we even talking about the rest of it? Because I can't do that where I live. Well, then you need to fucking move. Do you carry is there a pistol on you right now? The Ukraine military is training civilians in CQB. I'm not disputing. Why do you always come on here and say something opposite than I do? I'm not disputing that. They're training school children and grandmas. But then you had the president come on and make a video and said that the U.S. needs to back down, they're going to get people hurt, and the U.S. is fucking propagating this, and that they are not concerned about Russia invading. But we spend a lot of fucking time talking about Russia and Ukraine here in the United States. What are you not fucking doing while you're talking about Russia and Ukraine here in the United States? Able to versus allowed to. Well, I mean, I didn't see his answer. Will have a pistola exactly. Was that the dude that asked? I can do whatever, wherever where I live. Right on. Awesome. I don't know. What do you have? Are you looking for an excuse to buy another gun? What are you proficient with? Do you want a carbine that takes the same magazines as your Glock? I mean, you're a grown man. Get what you want to have. I'm not the gun dude, right? I'm not the gun channel. What I think could very well contradict something that somebody else that knows a lot more about it. Ask James Yeager. Ask Chris Costa. Ask Kevin Dixie. I would tell you, get whatever, you're going to go buy whatever you want anyways. Do you not already have a shotgun and a SBR or short-barreled something, you know? Wouldn't you rather have a 5.56 over a shotgun if you could only have one of them? Could you not do what you need to do with the 5.56? And in vehicle range, right, like carjacker or whatever, it's going to be pistol. Have you ever shot through glass? Have you ever shot a car and see where you're protected inside and where you're not protected inside? You're not protected anywhere inside. Garantham, I love Garantham shit. He's not doing a whole lot of shit on vehicle tactics that I've seen, though. Maybe he is, and I just missed him. But I know Chris, and I see Chris all the time training from shooting inside vehicles, like a fucking lot. Kevin will be in Camden here. Kevin and I are speaking together. Kevin I want to say Kevin is the only person that I personally invited to come, but that's not the case. Kevin was the first person that I personally invited when we started talking and doing this 6 months ago almost. I don't even know if it's been 6 months, but literally the next day I reached out to Kevin and I said, I am personally inviting you. Will you come speak at this event? 704 does good videos. I've not heard of him. My weapon of choice is going to be MCX 556 shooting 62 grain round. I have other options, but it comes down to only one. Right on. I don't even know what that is. I know 556. Got it. 62 grain. Has anyone heard of Russia attacking one of our subs? I heard something today about subs. Did not pursue it any further. I got stuck on social media a few minutes when I woke up. When I was sitting on the toilet, I got stuck on social media for a few minutes, and I have intentionally not been on social media. Amanda sent me something on Instagram about how to fill up raised bed gardens and not fill them 100% with soil, which we've talked about 100 times. It was a well put together video. I shared that on Instagram today. Other than that, I don't even know if I've made a post on social media today. What do you think of Team Zero? I've never heard of Team Zero. Josh Winnie, what is that channel you sent me a link to today? The guy with the harbor in Singapore. Freedom. I know you were I know you were, man. I know. We need to stay the fuck out of Ukraine. We need to stay the fuck. Imagine if we just fucking put the money we pour out of the country into our own country. You have to have a military defense. You have to have teeth, right? But we're not there for the United States. We're there for a very select few people to make billions of dollars off of us being there is what it's about. Plant abundance, not heard of it. 62 is green tips, so like SS109. High impact video, there we go. High impact video. That dude had a fucking really well put together video. War coat, heard we were within their coast, ran us off. Instructor Zero. Man, I used to see that dude all over the place, and I haven't seen shit from Instructor Zero. Masad Ayub. Masad Ayub. You're gonna lose that dude pretty soon. Brian has a new channel. We're there to create the new Cold War, so Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman can please their shareholders. I agree with you 100%. $62 isn't green tip. There you go. I'm pretty sure I said I wasn't the gun dude when I started that conversation. Try hugelkultur. It's not exactly hugelkultur. We're filling up the bottom of the bed to take up content so we put less soil in a tall raised bed. You can use firewood, you can use rocks, you can use debris, you can fucking put whatever you want in there. We are not doing it for the purpose of hugelkultur though. A lot of people throw hugelkultur out as the one great thing for everything, and most people that say it have never even done it. I'm not saying that that's the case with you. I'm saying that most people throw that shit out there. You don't have any fucking mounds that look like, you know, fucking waves out in your backyard. There's a guy that says 62 is green tip. There is a 62 green tip, but it's not. I got you. High Impact has a new channel. Here's the deal. Here's the deal is Brian's other channel. Got it. For you guys just joining, in the beginning I showed, these are online now. You can order these. The little mini cock. She loves the cock. And you can get the 5x7 covers. Those are online also. Those went online tonight. I think they went online tonight. I think it was tonight. have to water less if you don't put stuff in the bottom of the bed once it gets hot out. You will have to water less if you don't put stuff in the bottom of the bed. Well, I bought $2,000 worth of soil, bagged soil, Fox Farms, Ocean Forest, and I mixed it in with other stuff. I cut it down. I also build a lot of compost. We have a lot of rabbit manure. We have a lot of leaves in the woods here. I can't afford to fill all my beds with 100% soil, so I'm putting debris. My stuff grew really well last year. It grew really well the year before. I don't want to bend over. I got a commercial kitchen right here where we cook tons of stuff, and right outside that door is about 50 raised beds, and we grew a ton of stuff. We grew a ton of shit, and we're doing way more this year. We've got a greenhouse, well, I have a row house. Farmer's Friend row house, it's 50 feet, 16 feet wide. We've got a ton of stuff going in there this year as well. And we're putting in a lot more trees this year. Paul Revere, what's up? Adam Kennedy, what's up? Ordered 5x7, does that mean just red thread? I ordered 5x7 multicam black, red. Does it mean just red thread? I don't know the answer to that yet. I think we're gonna put red edge tape here and here, and then red thread throughout. So on the outside, it will absolutely mean just red thread. Growing tons of stuff in mill dirt. What is mill dirt, Jim? Is that like sawdust and stuff from mills? Picked up the only 2 rolling garden carts at my Tractor Supply. And you paid $150 for them? Question mark. I think that's what I saw them at, 150 bucks now. I bought them all last year. They were 120, and then we found a bunch of them marked down to 100. Steel mill. Steel mill. I don't know what that means. Check out the gorilla carts. What are the gorilla carts? Before you plant anything, I have a soil test done to check the pH levels. That way I know what plantings will thrive. Cabbage outside looks awesome. The cabbage is still doing okay, even though it's frozen like a dozen times. I need to chop it up, make kimchi, and make kraut. Love your stuff. Just ordered a clothes bag the other day. Steven, thank you for your order, man. What color clothes bag did you order? Joe Biggs is innocent. Join the U.S. trucker convoy. I don't know what Joe Biggs is. And once you tell me, I'm sure that I've heard of it. Tim Pool has been talking about the trucker convoys a lot. If you guys don't know who Thomas Massey is, you should watch Tim Pool's show. He had congressman, is it congressman or senator? Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene. He's had her on twice, but she was just on with Thomas Massey. Will the original day packs come back? They absolutely will. I bought 8 last summer for $100 each, retail $160. I got them a little cheaper. So, Kus, I had this conversation in my head. Are they still worth it at $160? You bought them, obviously they are, and that's the conclusion I came to also. Especially having a bunch, so to have them all match and function the same, yeah, they're worth it. Those are definitely great soil products. Fallen leaves are a great resource. We have a lot, and we can also, move the leaves back and then sift the soil into a bucket so we can take the loam and the microbes out of there as well. We use a lot of heavy wood mulch from tree chipping, running them right through a chipper. We don't chip on site. They're big, huge, 14, 16-inch commercial chippers, and we have tons of that. We've spent 5 years putting down 20 inches of mulch every year. So we get a ton of mycorrhizal fungi through there. There's a nice heavy mat of the white fungus. Middle of summer, the wood chips will look completely cooked, and you will just scrape them back about 6 inches. You can take the rotting wood chips and soil, and you can literally wring water out of it when it's 105 degrees out here. 120 each, matching purposes, yes, worth it. I agree, man. Joel Skousen, I'm not familiar with who that is. I know Joel Salatin. Tell us about your favorite bands. I listen to gangster rap. I worked out right before I started this video. I did some good shoulder workout, and I was listening to Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. Prior to that, look up Rob Bailey. If you don't know who that is, Rob Bailey has 5, 6, 7 albums out. Rob Bailey, check that out. Tom McDonald, I listened to a lot of that. Adam Calhoun. I listen to a lot of stuff, people that I personally know. I don't know Ice Cube, but I listen to a fucking ton of gangster rap. OD and Black, apparently my brain isn't working. NWA all day. Man, yeah, NWA. Even before that, when it was just Eazy-E. Individual area, suburban, I always get good production. Awesome. That's cool, man. Awesome. White Boy song is great. Yeah, his new one with Calhoun. Find a chicken house farm close by and get some of their chicken litter. It works wonders. But you have to compost it. You have to let it rot down for a while. Otherwise, it's too hot. And I have 200 chickens here on the property. Creed Fisher. Who is Creed Fisher? Not familiar? NWO as in New World Order. So along with the, who said chicken house? Chicken house. Wes Warcoat. Warcoat. What is Warcoat? Explain your name to me. You have a chance. It sounds familiar. The chickens, right? I have 80 rabbits here. I have a lot of rabbits in elevated cages, and the poop goes in rows underneath. So we have a lot of rabbit manure. Rabbit poop is worth more than most rabbits are worth. Aaron Lewis, love the 90s rap. Joel Skousen has excellent geopolitical analysis and has a ton of info on relocating for preppers. Also, does design consultants for building compounds, secure homes. Okie Storm Chaser, man. Do you guys mess with that guy? Like, you know that guy? I want to say, do you guys fuck with that guy? But I know you're like Bear's dude, so... Well, Bear cusses, so fuck it. Do you fuck with that guy? Can you guys post links to this stuff, or are you not able to post links? If you got a link to these channels you're talking about, throw those up there. I'm sure people would like to see them. Have you ever tried to weave your own fabric? I have not. I have not. I know a lady that weaves, makes alpaca yarn out of alpaca hair. I think it's good skill to learn in case you can not get clothing. You can make your own. I taught myself to weave. It's fun seeing yarn turn into fabric. That's awesome. That's awesome. I farm 3,000 acres, and we buy no fertilizer. We just spread 7 tons the acre every other year. I want a manure spreader. I just want, they have a cool little manure spreader you can pull around with a 4-wheeler. I just want a manure spreader. I don't even need a manure. I want it though. Links are only for mods. Got it. When you start eating rabbit, will we be able to get tool bags lined with rabbit fur? Fat Nuts, what's up? I'll build you whatever you want. I have some hides right now. We were looking, there's some, I don't know if the videos, I don't think the video's been put out. We have some, there's some video, I was buying hides the other day. I bought a bunch of leather, and there were rabbit hides in there. Amanda was putting them on her head, and then she was putting her hat over it, or her beanie or whatever. Dave Canterbury is awesome. I like Dave. I've met Dave several times. Dave follows my Instagram page and comments on it sometimes. We have a manure spreader, but it's probably a little bit, I'll bet it is. I'll bet it is. Charles Dowding, yeah. Charles Dowding's got awesome stuff. And Greg Judy, that's another good one to watch. Honey Wagon. We don't interact with Skousen, but we are aware of him. Understood. Understood. Do you know Cody? Are you with Bear, or are you with Cody? Well, we don't have to discuss that here. By my work, they spray hog waste on fields. Smells bad for miles. Yeah, that's what they're doing with that. They're putting up slabs and big steel buildings. It's all automated for the pigs. You just have to have some place to put it. So it has to go on crops, or it has to go into bladders. You're gonna make me drive 14 hours just to talk to you? You'd be disappointed, man. Like, I just gave you everything I had. Like, you'd be disappointed. You'd be better off driving 14 hours to see someone else. The AK is dead? I don't think the AK is dead, buddy. Are you talking about Alaska? I'm sure you're not talking about the Kalashnikov. Talking about rabbit hide, I also taught myself to tan hides with eggs and mayonnaise. I did a piece of pigskin and squirrel, dying to try deer hide. Cool. You have a manure spreader, we call them traded. By my work, they spray. We don't interact. At least here. All right, guys, I'm going to start turning this off. I got some other stuff to still to do tonight. Last comments, last questions, product you want to see, anything you want to discuss last minute here. I need a clapper where I can just clap and turn all these lights off. Like Lee Stroud and Cody London. Les Stroud, Les. I haven't seen a lot out of Les. I mean, I watched his YouTube channel for a while. Then Cody London, I haven't seen fucking anything of Cody in a long time. Rifle slings? We got tons of rifle slings. What kind do you want? Black Thomas has a good channel. Not heard of him. David the Good. You should check out David the Good. I found out about him. Ice Age Farmer. I like Ice Age Farmer stuff. Adapt 2030. David Dubine. But it's actionable again, right? You can spend your entire life consuming content from YouTube over things to be worried about that you can't affect, and most of them won't affect you. But David the Good has like survival gardening, right? And his whole thing is to produce food, produce calories as fast as possible, as much as possible, right? For the reason of not looking pretty in rows, not looking beautiful like a park, but to produce food. If you don't know who that dude is, I didn't know who he was a week ago. I've watched probably 30, 40 of his videos, just kind of like while I'm doing things. Check him out. I think there's a lot of benefit to what he's doing. Actionable. Actionable. That's the key word, right? Actionable. Just bought 2 more Excalibur dehydrators. You're going to dehydrate a lot of shit, man. We have run this dehydrator. There are weeks where this thing runs 24 hours a day. This dehydrator right here is almost 15 years old. And it's not running because we just emptied it. I'll bet the freeze dryer's running. That's hamburger fat. That'll go over dog food tomorrow. There's the hamburger that fat came from. Cooked and seasoned. Here's the eggs from today and yesterday. Onions, taters. I've got a ton of taters sprout. Oh, here's the eggs from today. I got a ton of taters sprouting over here. I'm about to put into dirt. All these bags are full of taters, lots of them. My mother refuses to get a wood stove. I don't know why. Do you live with her? Who is it you're speaking of? W83. I like Justin's road stuff. He's kind of soft for me though. Like I like Justin's stuff. I watched a lot of it. Who I was talking about was David the Good. Look up David the Good. I think it's called Survival Gardening or something like that. But David the Good, you'll find him. You walk 5 miles in the shop. I walk around my house 29 trips a mile. Cash, man, I do. I walk all the time. We were actually tracking it when we first moved in the building, and me and Jeff, we were doing 5 to 6 miles a day. And that was especially like when we before we had the stairs in place. because to get upstairs, we'd have to walk all the way to the end of the building, go upstairs, and then come over. That stairwell wasn't there for like the first year we were in here. That big spiral staircase. He's tender. Oh yeah, I think he's a great fucking dude. I absolutely think he's a good dude. If he wasn't, I don't think Joel Salatin would fuck with him as much as he does. I like watching Arpad from Star Path Academy. Talks about how he survived hyperinflation and communism in Romania, and the lookout for and what we can do for prep. Johnny Woodman's, the Star Path Academy. Does that have anything to do with, does he talk about star forts at all? Are you familiar with star forts? We've got a couple of them in Nashville, actually. I changed my mind, and still, are there still ticks? I'm coming to share with you. Yeah, you can, Living Free in Tennessee. You can get tickets right on Living Free in Tennessee. 14 hours. Where are you coming from? What state? Pete Canaris, Green Dreams. Just got home, see 88 people, 106 likes. Nice. Kirby, how are you, buddy? I've been dehydrating orange slices and vegetables for making my own backpacking meals. Not only that, man. Wouldn't it be nice to have fucking dehydrated lemons and orange slices just to be able to put in drinks? Like, we're not growing that stuff here. I suppose we could if we moved it in the winter and kept them in pots and stuff, but citrus isn't happening here. And the way the weather patterns seem to be going, citrus isn't ever happening here. There's a lot of thought, a lot of what looks to be evidence that our weather patterns are changing. And the speculations is that your growing zones are going to change by 2. So if I'm a 6, I'm going to become a 4. And I thought that it was relevant enough that when we put the greenhouse in, we got a Gothic arch greenhouse instead of a round house, which cost about $2,000 more. And we put in pole spacing at 4 feet instead of 5 feet, which cost about $1,000 more. And we did everything in a manner that it was super rugged and super durable. And I also put the high ride kit, which raises at 2 feet, so that if we ever needed to use it for storage to put things in there, people on cots, people in sleeping bags, or equipment, or vehicles to work on equipment out of the weather, we put the high ride kit. So, and we made the door, we did our ends ourselves, and Tim made the doors large enough that we could drive a skid steer completely through it should we need to. The Survival Garden Channel with David the Good. It's well worth listening to. Northern Wisconsin. I first heard of SOE due to your rant videos years ago. Do you still get customers to rant? I do. I'm just so busy. And people, the crazy thing is, people will watch negativity more than they'll watch positivity. It's just insane. If I make a video cussing some guy, it'll have 40,000 views at the end of the week. If I make a video with something completely actionable that you could put into motion in the next 30 minutes and change the course of your week, it'll have, 40 comments, if I'm lucky. People want to see negative shit. I do still make those videos. They're on YouTube. They're on Instagram right now. I've made them, last month I made some rant videos. You're the only streamer who answers the most bullshit but funny questions live. Do you know why that is? The gene spool's polluted. Do you know why that is? It's because I don't have as many people watching. The comments aren't just flying past. A lot of the other streamers, the comments move just so fast. I also don't have super chats turned on because I'm a fucking retard. I should have super chats turned on. So if people really wanted an answer to the answer to a question, they pay, and then it sits in there in a different category, right? It highlights it as it goes up, and then I can go back and just see those and then answer them as needed or, while they're happening. Arpad talks mostly about hyperinflation and the debasement of the dollar and how it's happening similar to what has happened in Romania. Yeah. Fairfowl, you ever heard of Fairfowl? He was in Venezuela and Argentina when they collapsed. Talks about that a lot. I can't believe the last compound videos views are so low. They're not showing them to people. They're not showing them to people. And stop and think about this, Josh, right? How many people do I interact with? How many people do you see on here? Or how many people do you see that, like Josh, for you guys that don't know, Josh was here for years. He was here every single day. His wife, Gabby, woman, call her whatever we're calling her nowadays. Woman. His wife did all my videos for years. And people that know all kinds of stuff about us, people that interact with us, people that call us friends, can't take the time to fucking push that heart button or leave a few words. And the biggest thing is they don't share the content, right? They'll watch it, they'll consume it, but they don't ever hit that share button and go, hey, this dude's talking about something that you would benefit from. About 20 minutes in, here's the link. They don't do that. They just don't. And it doesn't. And the crazy thing is, that's why people's businesses go out of business, right? A dude starts a business, like a viable business. He should know enough people that'll just do commerce with him the first year to keep him in business. But people are lazy. They can't even be bothered. They're holding a phone in their hand. They can't even be bothered to hit the like button and to share it and just send it to some friends in their messenger list. They won't even do that. And then people wonder why their friends' businesses go out of business. I have no idea what Mickey's up to. I can't wait to vote for Biden. Yeah, we're all going to vote for Biden. Hardy Citrus, Flying Dragon, Citrum Mellow, and Yuzu. I forgot the names. Hope that guy isn't in the U.S. Don, I'm not sure who. Fairfowl, Argentina stories are insane. They are. I know Fairfowl. Fairfowl's done several write-ups on our stuff. Every time you do a rant video, I buy something. or you're not greedy, and that's cool. Or I'm dumb. Like, if you have somebody who has a viable business, the call to action is entertain, educate, equip, right? Entertain. I'm going to say some crazy shit or give you some photo worth clicking on, right? Clickbait, entertainment. Education, we're going to have a conversation and I'm going to talk to you and you're going to take something away that's going to be actionable to you. You're going to learn something, or I'm going to put something out there that you're going to question and you're going to look it up for yourself. Education. Equip, right? I'm going to sell you my equipment. I'm going to call for action, right? Every time you post a piece of content, there should always be a call to action. And that can be as simple as, hey, join our email list. Hey, join my text app. Hey, I have these Woodland pocket organizers. These things are fucking amazing. You should buy one. And if you go buy it right now, it'll ship to you tomorrow and you'll have it by Wednesday and you'll be using it. Call to action. And most people fail to call to action. And most people are fucking lazy, and only 1 out of every 100 will actually bother to fucking do the call to action for you. And it doesn't cost them anything. There's 92 people on here right now. And I ask that you click that little arrow button and share this video and just send it to somebody in your messenger list or whatever. When you click that, it goes to there's 100 options how to share it. You can share it to your social media. You can share it to your friends in Messenger. You can share it to your friends in Instagram. You can share my video and post it so the link comes up to everybody subscribed to you on your YouTube channel. Click the share button and go, hey, this video is kind of long. We talked about ABC. And that's how the channel will grow. I'm shadow banned. And a lot of people say that. I've had this YouTube channel for, I don't know, over 10 years now. I've had 25,000 followers on YouTube for the last 5 years. I've had 700,000 followers on Facebook for the last 5, 6, 7 years. It's never grown. And every time I do a video, people get on and go the next day, they're like, I never got a notification, and I checked notifications and I'm unsubscribed now. And these aren't just like people that, like, there's a lot of folks on here right now, but there's a lot of people on here that I know because I do these videos on YouTube and I talk to you guys every night. But there's about 40 of you that I personally know face to face, have sat down, had a meal with, shook hands with, looked you in the eyes. People that I actually know. And it's always people, there's always people I actually know that say, hey, I've been unsubscribed 20 fucking times from your YouTube channel. I'm not on any social media. I'm only on YouTube. However, I just shared with a friend by texting it to him. Thank you. Thank you. That's your 1,000 true fans, right? 1,000 true fans. When you do a job for somebody, ask them for 2 referrals. Hey, can I get 2 phone numbers? Can you text your friend right now while I'm standing here? Just text your friend, text 2 people and tell them that I just did this job, and do they need any of this kind of work done? Tree service, handyman, whatever it is. Ask for 2 more customers. Have I given you value? The money you've paid me for this job, do you feel like you got your money's worth? And would you refer 2 friends to me? I'm 350 pounds. Your products look weird on me, especially with all the back acne juices saturating all the products you made for me. That 56-inch belt didn't work. I'm not on social media. How are things in the Great White North? The guy that was born in Argentina and Venezuela, when they collapsed, hope he isn't, we've read all these. Send it to yourself or your wife. That'd be great, yeah. I don't think it matters who you send it to. But hopefully you send it to somebody that gets value out of it. Okay, so let's address the dude, the 350-pound guy that's with a 56-inch belt. My suspicion is he doesn't have a 56-inch belt, and he's being an asshole. Maybe he does have a 56-inch belt, but let me explain something to you for a moment here. Not him, but everybody. There are companies that will not build a 56-inch belt. And there are companies that outright say, I don't want my product on a big, huge, fat guy. Why? Why? Why don't you be an example and a demonstration of how to get up every morning and work out and get up and add value, right? Maybe that 56-inch fucking belt guy, maybe he gets down to 48 and then becomes 42, right? There's a lot of those. I get emails every day from dudes that are like, hey, I've been following you 4 years and you motivated me and I've lost fucking 100 pounds. I make belts. My people make belts every single week that are as large as 60 inches. Every month we make a belt that's up to 70 inches. We've made a belt that literally touched the ground to the ceiling. It's all money. What do you care? What do you care? And maybe that's what it takes, right? Maybe that dude gets that belt and he sees that label and he's like, hey, this is pretty cool. And then he buys a fucking wallet. And then he buys a visor cover. And then he starts looking at your social media and he comes out to one of your events and he meets somebody and all of a sudden he's part of the group, right? And what if while you're doing these videos, people are asking questions and he actually answers them on social media, right? Hey, what about this product? And he fucking tries to add value to people. And his life changes and he fucking becomes better for it. So I don't care what you look like. I don't care who you sleep with. I just don't care. And there'll be people that come here for common interests that are vehemently, totally opposed on other issues. But if you're coming here for the Prepper Fest, come to talk about preparation, preparedness, and being better, right? But if you're going to turn everything into a fucking just a shitty conversation, nobody has time for that. If you're like if you're a one pony show and you only know how to do one thing and talk about one thing and turn everything into something negative, you're going to fucking be a lonely motherfucker all your life. Pink bag looks like a Mexican wrestling mat the way it's hanging. Freedom Inc. Maybe they won't because of material cost. You charge more for it. You should try that out. When you go to get some jobs tomorrow, tell the fat person you don't want to work for them. Laugh out loud, I'm dying. We have more in common than not. You either do or you don't. Sheesh, 55 inches. Dude, we sell stuff All of my rigs will fit a 400, 500 pound dude. Those 400, 500 pound guys, they're not pretending to be something they're not. They just want to fucking put their subgun rig on, ride around on their four-wheeler, and shoot at targets on their property when they go out to the range or go out with their friends or whatever, right? There's more dudes in shape buying gear, pretending to be something there's not, than dudes that are out of shape buying gear, pretending to be something they're not. Yes, we have some former Carhartt people. Haas UMC used to wear your gear. I don't know where Haas is. Haas is not, like, I'm not a fan of Haas. I saw some shit Haas said personally in my building. Haas did some pretty shitty things and said some fucking pretty shitty things. I am not a fan of Haas. I don't know where he is. Don't wish him any ill. We gave Haas some stuff. Haas came in here like we owed him some shit. And then Haas took a bunch of gear he was getting and sold a bunch of gear. I saw it fucking happen. Not a fan of Haas. I think people don't hit the like button because it's about power, and they probably view the like as their control and use it only when they feel they're comfortable giving up. Oh, I don't know. And there's a lot of people that watch shit they don't like. Imagine if people spent the time, all the time they spend on shit they don't like, imagine if they put that energy into things they do like. Is Tim Kennedy a dirtbag? I don't think so. I know everybody was mad because he said some shit. Have you watched Tim Kennedy's stuff? I think that he truly adds a lot of value. I think he, Tim Kennedy put a bunch of money into a private fucking high school for kids and stuff. Like, Tim's done some really good shit. I don't think I've ever personally met Tim. I have some friends that are true friends with Tim. But I don't think Tim's a dirtbag. Didn't realize you were doing me a favor by killing the order so that I can reorder in the size that I wanted. I'm a dumbass, and I thought that maybe you were going to roast me by making the rant. No, so Whiskey 80, or W86, when you place an order and you fucked your order up, we do stuff by paper still. So and like, I don't even have orders from this weekend to show you yet. Let's just say these orders here, okay? We print orders out on paper. When you have your belt order could be one of 20 different places. So number one, you fucked your order up. Why should I put it on one of my people to find your order and fix it and rely on them when you couldn't do it yourself correctly? And I'm not saying you didn't do it correctly, right? I'm saying that you researched further and realized you wanted something else perhaps. So the fastest way to do that, especially if we need to make a change to it, because your order could be back here getting cut, your order could be here on the table already done, your order could be out here with sewing in one of these 20 workstations, your order could be over in my work bay to cut a belt, it could be a lot of places. So number one, to find it could be an entire man hour in itself. And then to make the change to it, and a lot of times, if it's a brand new order, I will just forward that to Amanda. When she prints that out, she'll make the change by hand. But that doesn't tell you the change was made by hand. So then you're going to send another email, and I'm going to look at it and see it's a couple days old. So I'm going to print it out and build it right then if I can. Or maybe I can't because we don't have some color or some piece of something. So the fastest thing to do is to kill the order. And a lot of times people go, hey, motherfucker, I just wanted to make a change to this. Why'd you kill my fucking order? You're a piece of shit. I'm not going to fucking order nothing from you. Okay. We make a lot of stuff that you can't get literally anywhere else. Like nobody fucking makes it. Okay. But we killed your order so that you could simply reorder the correct item and get it in a faster manner. Brovets? Oh, Brovet. Is he a Brovet though? I mean, I see that as the Black Rifle guys. We went into a Black Rifle coffee shop. There were a lot of fucking goobers there. The shop looked really neat, and the coffee was shit. Like I bought, coffee there as though I would order at Starbucks, and the coffee wasn't good. Like the drink I got was fucking terrible. I went to the Fort Campbell location. We actually went there intentionally while we were in town 3 different times until we finally found them open. They were in the process of building it and fitting it out. The store is awesome. Some of the people inside were very nice. Some of them were kind of shitty. And that's just that one location. I realize that. And that has nothing to do with Matt Best and the other guys. But they've said a lot of shit. They kind of fucking stepped on their dick with golf shoes. The Iridium Group, exactly. I'm one of those people. I'm down 100 pounds because of John. I still have a long way to go. Starting at 440, it's huge for me. But look where you are now, man. Look where you are and how fast you got there. You didn't get to 440 pounds. It took a lot longer to get to 440 than the time it took to get 100 pounds off. You've done an amazing fucking amount of work. I didn't even see a here. I don't even see. Here's Iridium. The dudes on here all the time who come back with one follow the morning videos and lost 9 pounds, etc. Those are people taking control of their path and who care where they start. And who cares where they start? That's it exactly, man. We can jump on the bandwagon, and when somebody says something, it's easy to be involved in things that are negative. It's just fucking easier. I don't know why. I don't know why life is like that. Wouldn't buy you drop? Rusty, why Mike? What's with all the random ass questions? John, will you help me with my love life? Haas is from Henry County, piece of shit. I don't know Haas. He came around, started training attack response. I told James, like person to person in private, I said, I don't like this dude. Something about him. I've told you this a few times over the last decade, and I've always been right. And James gave him the benefit of the doubt. The dude was a fucking mess. He came flying in here, left his car running in my wife's parking spot, the windows down, fucking guns all over the place, just sitting there. And there's people in and out of here all the time, fucking unsecured, talking about his fucking MP5, all kind, fucking handed it to somebody. They took the fucking mag out, racked it, and he had one in the fucking chamber. He handed a loaded gun to it. I can go on for a fucking hour of just that 15-minute interaction. And I'm sure there's a ton of shit I forgot. We made him, he wanted some shit to come out to contractor, and he wanted all this shit in gray. So we made some stuff in gray, and he gave me a list of fucking 40 goddamn items. So we made things that were applicable to contractor. We made him a micro rig. I made him an Nalgene pouch. I made him a few, and we're giving him this shit. And he's like, well, what about all the other stuff? I go, we're not fucking making it for you. You asked for fucking $4,000 worth of shit. So we gave him all this shit. We didn't get so much as fucking thank you. And then we made a visor cover, and I made 3 or 4 extras, and I made some Nalgene koozies, and I made 3 or 4 extras, and I made an extra micro rig and a few other things. He's like, well, can I get that stuff? I'm like, fuck no, you can't get that stuff. That's how I'm paying for the shit we're giving you. And it's just dude, it was always some shit with that dude. And that dude there is just super fucking I don't know, man. I think that dude's going to find himself in some trouble if he didn't already. Nothing against his career. but what he's doing with Fieldcraft, I'm out. Rusty, I don't know who we're talking. Are Green Army gummies available? I'm sure they are. He works for the feds. Who's that? I love you, Slim. Don't that count? Sustained it since Black Rifle Coffee. Cook. Who are we talking about? Mike Glover. You're mad at Mike Glover? I think the feds got to Mike Glover. I think Mike Glover, he started American Contingency. That got hot and heavy. A lot of fucking money came in really fast. And I think the feds fucking grabbed him up. When they shut his channels down and then shut his mom's fucking bakery channel down and shit, I think somebody came and knocked on his door and said, let's have a talk, buddy. Funny you mentioned Haas. He showed up in my suggested feed today with Mookie. With everything going on right now, to put out rally vids, really, I don't know what that means. All right, I'm not seeing comments here. Is Haas from Bonanza? I don't know, man. How old are you that you even say Bonanza? That's funny. You mean the TV show? Are you expecting that knock and talk, John? No, I'm not. No. $41. He's selling promos for rally racing vids under the guise of Fieldcraft and Survival. Promos for rally racing vids. I don't know what that means. I know he bought some fucking rally Porsche or something, and I know that one of the guys that worked for American Contingency, I guess, or Fieldcraft, I don't know, his training cell, right? I know a dude, like know a guy that worked for him or did, right? Ex-Army Ranger. He used to work for me in San Diego. But I know he has a dude on his cadre that ran King of Hammers. Like they built up a truck and actually raced King of Hammers. Best transformation is old Tex Grubner to Whipmaster. I don't know what Whipmaster is. I know he was doing a ton of archery shit. I met Tex Grubner. Tex was in my shop fucking a dozen times. He came out and trained at James's a lot. I haven't seen that dude in years and years. They still give it on TV, on Emmy. I don't know what that is. I can't imagine getting anything for free and not appreciating it. We'll talk Tads is between guy selling promos. I don't know what that is. All right, guys, I'm out of here. He got into S&M whips. I have said forever that I would make a lot more money making S&M and sex toy shit than tactical gear. Oh, Bonanza still? All right, guys, I'm out. Good night.